So I wanted to come on this morning. I woke up a little bit earlier this morning than I usually do, because I experience this a lot. It's often that I experience these things because the world doesn't yet understand autism, and it's like there's a wide spectrum of spectrum when it comes to autism, and sometimes our challenges are different from each other, and a lot of times we high mask our challenges. And I know from my personal experience, like, I get a lot of people that say mean things that will, to people, they don't realize that it's mean. I don't think that they're trying to intentionally be mean to me, but when I share that I'm autistic, I myself have overcome a lot of my challenges, and I myself, I don't look at autism like a disability, because I have so many great characteristics and qualities and intelligence that is, I believe that is because I'm autistic. Because if you see where I came from, there's no way that I would come out like this talking appropriate and stuff and educated. So I think that it's a blessing from God, and that blessing is autism, which is why my account on my YouTube channel is I Got Proof I'm Blessed ASD, because I think it's a great thing. And but then I meet people and I'm just I'm feeling good about myself, and then they'll be like, I'll share that I'm autistic, because I'm just okay, I'm sharing that I'm autistic just so that you can know that that I process things a little differently, or that I may speak very literal, and I don't want you to get offended, I'm doing it to make sure that there's no communication, issues. I'm not perceived wrong, or that if I don't look at you, I'm not having shifty eyes, I'm not gonna rob your house. I have trouble controlling my eyes sometimes. I'm trying to make light of it, because what can you do when people keep treating you like that, I've dealt with that a lot too, because a lot of my challenges I overcome and I push through because I have to survive, and I'm a mom. But then I have little behaviors or things that throw people off, but they don't realize that I'm autistic. For example, my eye movement, I've had many people ask me, what are you on? And I'm just what the freak, dude? So that's why I always also tell people that I'm autistic. So before we get to a point where you're gonna discriminate against me, let me just tell you that I'm autistic, so that should help me understand that there may be some things that are different than a neurotypical, than what you're used to, That's what I'm trying to say, that I'm autistic, because it gets really annoying when someone's what's wrong with you, or they'll say you don't look autistic. I couldn't even tell, you don't even look autistic. I'm just oh my god. And then they'll say the most messed up thing. They'll be I can tell your son's autistic, but he doesn't look autistic, and your daughter doesn't look autistic. And it's I want to at that second, they're and they're smiling at me if they're giving me a compliment, and him is I'll fucking kill you. I want to wring their freaking necks, dude. Sorry. If you're autistic, you know what I'm talking about. It's super frustrating. And then they'll tell me you look normal, and then I'm just and I refuse to say thank you, because I'm just already I'm already old enough to work. I don't have to before I would just be oh thanks, I didn't know how to take that, and I didn't want to go into have a conflict with them, and but now I'm just really annoyed with it. It's kind of annoying. And it can really mess up your day when you're when you're autistic and you're just doing whatever, and then they're saying those couple of comments. It kind of makes you and it's the worst kind, because if you come at me straight at me and be and tell me oh you're not normal, or you're this or you're that, I can at least be okay, well, I know I have no choice but to stand up for myself. But when someone says it so so subtle, it almost feels more abusive. I feel I can't react to it, you know? It's like, I feel like, oh my God. And it's just like something that's like, kind of like, it doesn't affect me too hard because I'm a really strong person, but I still feel this little bit of like I don't like, I feel like I went from like, oh, like happy, and then I'm like, oh, you know, like I shut down a little bit. I don't like that. And I wanted to like just come on here and like share with people that, you know, autism, you know, it looks different in different ways for different autistic people, you know, and I want everybody to recognize the stigma, you know, that society has, you know, put on us, and I feel that in some cases, not all cases, because I've experienced, you know, when I had more challenges as a child, people were very, very mean to me, like calling me the R word and you know, discrimination and abuse even with my own family. So I definitely experienced, you know, having more challenges as a child, and still it was mean. But I also have experienced pushing through and overcoming, you know, some of my challenges, you know, because of survival and, like, you know, the grace of God helping me through this, and to try so hard and you know, for survival, I've pushed myself through a lot of these things that I would never want to, you know, participate in or do, because I have nobody in my life, and I have to survive, you know. I don't know if anybody here comes from you know, that's autistic, that comes from a broken home, and, you know, and have been on their own for a long time, but I left home when I was 12, so I had to overcome my challenges, a lot of them, or at least push them, you know, push them down, you know, and push through. So if you've been through that, then you know what I'm saying, that sometimes people will be like, oh, you're not autistic, and they don't realize how much you're struggling inside, and they can like make jokes and be more discriminatory sometimes in some cases, like say messed up stuff, or like make fun of you, and, you know, and these are adults doing this, like they're not little children that don't know any better. Like, it's pretty weird. And yeah, and they'll talk to you like, and then they'll say like, oh, you're lying. It's like, there's nothing worse than going through so much your entire life and being on the spectrum and being alone, and then someone goes over there and calls you a liar. It's kind of, what are you calling me, crazy? Like, are you trying to make me feel crazy right now? Like, that is super, super messed up. That's super abusive. And in these, you know, ignorant people's minds are probably like, oh, well, they don't understand it, so it must be a lie. And it's like, no, you're just uneducated. You know, why don't you read a book, you know? There's so many different types of autistic people in the world today, and every one of our, you know, struggles is, you know, validated, and it should be, and if they don't, then they're ignorant. So if you're going through that, if you're autistic and you're going through that, you're not alone. Stand strong. And yeah, like and subscribe and follow me on TikTok. You can also DM me, and we can talk about it, because I don't think that there's enough support, and there's not enough, like, you know, like friendship, you know, and like sense of belonging for autistic people. And I don't like that. I think that it's very, you know, it's not of God that people treat us this way, and I think that it's time for a change. Mic drop.